Okay, hello guys. Today, let's say I'm gonna do the kind of like a year-end review of how the crypto market is gonna be like. As the approach, as a usual approach, it's gonna be like from the perspective of the beginner. Like, how do I come to this? Like, and to be honest, if you know me before, I never trade on the crypto only until kind of like in March 2021. That's where I got a new job at ZipMax. So as part of my job, so I have to do the, like actually have to be trade and whatsoever with the products in order to, like just check data and whatsoever. But then since then, I get into the, like the whole theme, scary theme to be honest. Yeah, so that's the purpose of today, to give me like a quick review of, like 2021. So let's go with a quick review of the market today. So BTC price is okay, right? Ethereum is okay. What does it mean by okay by now? It's meaning that like it does have some uptrend right now, and it's about Christmas, so people really expect to have the price to going up, right? For those who are new, these are the good time to get into the market. Simply because if you look at the trend, Ethereum has been, or Bitcoin has been like rally up really high, and this is just technically make the coin is harder to accessible to like a regular people, right? But at the same time, it's more like a FOMO for those who read the news and they hear their friend's story to say, hey, I earn like 2x, 10x, 100x, like a couple 100x on these kind of coin. This is a good time to get in, like get your hand dirty with like whatever it is as a regular like we don't call you guys a trader, it's just a regular consumer to the market. Okay, so because I say, since you guys are a regular user to the market, what does it mean by that is that you will be scared to see the prices going down, and you will be confused when the price is going up, right? It's going down because like, okay, here's my lifetime saving investment. It's going down as crazy as like 30-40% of the market value. So should I sell it, right? Like cut loss, or when it's go up, you getting scared because you don't know like, is it the right time to exit, right? So there will be like a dilemma at both top and the bottom of the, the price chart, right? And that is reflecting what is happening with the price of, whatever coin you are getting in, either like, like a super, like hype one, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or is super like crappy, or, like quite fun with the dog team, right? Yeah, so that is the behavior and the emotion that you will face when you are in the crypto market. That's number one. Number two, like as a new user, how do I trade, right? So for this year, since I'm a really new, like user to the market, what do I choose? Well, when I first started this company, right, of course, number one, I will do, let's play safe, right? It's my company, so let's buy the company coin, right? Let's see how it's be like. And it's fun, right? I get my first hands-on experience of the value going from, let's say, when I joined, the value of the coin is about like 50, 60 baht for 1 CMT. At the moment that I'm saying right now, I think it's about like 90 baht, right? But in the middle, like which is in April, before mid-May-ish, we spike it up like to, I think it's about 120 plus. And in some other market, the rate will be slightly a little bit higher. Yeah, so I experienced a dilemma back then. I see my account is providing me a really good numbers that I can get, like a new car, expensive brand, to be honest, and then it's going down, right? So I passed through that one. I was able. So my general approach to this is like, let's just keep it, right? The idea is, I'm willing to lose what I put it in. This is a very important statement for you when you decide to join the market or even trade with the stock, right? If you have $1,000, you're willing to lose it, then you can risk it. But if you trade and then you leverage it with, like bank loans, or as just like Binance, they allow you to do like 3x or 10x or 100x of your investment, don't do that, right? Because by that moment, when you see the market crash back in April, May, I think they did another round in July or August, right? This is all about like Elon Musk tweeting and all of the people who get so greedy on the coin because they think they will go up higher, right? The market is, like correct itself. For those who get in this, they lost all of their money because they got a margin call. So yeah, so my mindset back then is that just keep the coin, right? So that is my first experience with the price, the dilemma, and the very first thought of what coin do I buy, right? And then after a while, like when I experienced that and I start to have more time to, like read news, search on YouTube to see which influencer or whatever video out there that is sound right to me, I'll start to research more coin. And the next question will come up, right? Like, how do you split your portfolio and what coin you're gonna choose, right? This is exactly the same approach for the stock trading, right? But for stock trading, I don't think like people gonna do like YouTube, like what you should buy, like Tesla. This is because stock trading market is a very settled market already, right? They have a clear guideline. They even have school and degree for that, right? Crypto, you may be able to find like a hands-on of a list of, like you just found a few school that deliver the course for this, right? Yeah, so there is not, I don't think is there any school, back in May or July that do like crypto as a degree, ish, like blockchain technology. Yeah, because I think, blockchain is, Bitcoin, BTC, like the big umbrella. People still consider them or it as a scam, and a lot of people like explicitly mention their concern about this as well. So for that part, I'm not really sure, but I agree with that kind of like worry, right? Because why? Number one, even though it's called decentralized, meaning like people is like completely gain their freedom of doing like transaction, sending the money around. At the same time, it's also a tool for like money laundering. We call it AML. So because of this, mainstream institution is they really want to get in because like the mass adoption of like the user who doesn't want to have the government involved in. So this is one of the main reason that like regular institution like school didn't have the program open. Mainstream institution like government, banking stuff, they are there, right? They can, technology wise nothing new, but they don't want to switch from something they have been investing for like 100 year plus. Like banking is a really long time, like 100 year plus of like a phone system. They don't want to move it around. They don't want to retrain people. They like those higher management. They don't want to change. Like the resistance to change is really real. So it's not there, but they have some quite positive movement, especially in 2021. Right? Like you will start to see countries start to adopting it. El Salvador, like tiny little country, they are adopting it, and yeah, I mean, financial wise, I kind of fully supporting them. As you can see right now, like the U.S. inflation and the other country inflation, you know why the inflation happened, right? So because of COVID, government have to printing out lots of money in order to support the citizen, right? The money will give like a quick economy boost during those like critical time, but the impact is that you will increase the inflation rate. But with Bitcoin, it's always fixed. Or any kind of coin, right, that they have a limiting supply, they will always have a fixed supply. So you cannot print it. You can only mint it, right? Or you earn it somehow. Yeah, so basically the inflation from these kind of crypto technology change is more like into how people hyping it, right? Driven by the news, but not by any kind of force who has the power to printing it. Because of this, people start to switch, right? You see the gold price, this kind of like, like old way of hedging, like economic risk has been shifted from gold into crypto, USD. Like people kind of like faded away a little bit, right? Yeah, so come back to the question, which coin you should invest, right? And as I mentioned, like trading on stock, we have all kind of guidebook there, like the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis is there. But crypto is how, right? I am not financial advisor, so this is purely my observation and my learning curve. Let's hold of it. Okay, so come back to the question, what kind of coin you should invest, right? As I mentioned, buying trading coin is new, but there is something you can do about it, which is like you can bring your old, not kind of old, but like you can use your existing knowledge of trading into the blockchain, like purchasing behavior, right? Number one is that you can invest by the platform, right? The same way, like you either can invest into, like Microsoft as like an Android, Windows-ish product, or you can either invest into Apple, right? So these are platform-based, right? They produce stuff for us like that is impacting our life in the tech world. Like I think it's almost 100%. Like Windows, like massive people of is using it. iOS, like especially Apple cell phone, a lot of people want it, right? Yeah, so that is platform products. So translate that into crypto. You can choose. The easy one to choose is Bitcoin. It's number one because it's been around like for a very, very long time. They are layer one, right? We call it. So switching the word into blockchains a bit, we usually call them like a layer one technologies, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, because Bitcoin is their main how do I call it? It's a proof of stake concept. No, sorry. So Bitcoin will be the proof of work concept, and Ethereum is a proof of stake. This is a very basic definition for new user to come to get in. So these are the foundation, right? And there is another one which the China has been I kind of like introduced a little bit, which is the proof of storage, right? There is some new coin who will try to either like choose either of these three. in order to deliver, like the use case of the coin to promote themselves, right? For example, Gala is they kind of greedy, right? They will choose all three of them, right? At different layer, different purpose, they will use different consensus consensus, how do you call it? The consensus mechanism in order to deliver a very specific service or value to the user, right? And then there is another coin, which is the coin that is, like it's belong to a company. For example, like my company, they have the ZMT coin. BitCup, they have a cup coin, right? Binance, they have a Binance coin. These coins will be more like it's start to get confusing here, because some page they define blockchain, like Binance blockchain is layer 1 as well, right? So I'm not sure on this part, right? But they will either use this kind of technologies like ERC20, like BCC, blah, whatever is it. At the beginning, these coins provide zero value to the user. They just simply like, I have a coin, I think this is worth how much, do you want to buy it, right? That's how they introduce the coin to the market. And then later on, because users starting getting smarter, they will ask the question, what do I do with this kind of coin? And because of that, they will start to have to do like marketing campaign and purpose in order to create a users for this, right? So for starter, these kind of company related coin will be more like, okay, if you have this much of coin, you will get this much of reward if you lock, right? So in crypto or blockchain, we usually refer, sometimes you will hear the word lock or staking, meaning that you will promise that you agree to let the company to lock an X amount of your coin in exchange for for something. So in this case, most of the time, it will be like in the form of interest, right? For marketing purpose, like they will ask the user to do an XYZ step up something in order to earn it, right? So those are the basic usage of the, like, what do I call, what I call this is a company coin, right? And then if we're looking at Binance, right, they have a very solid, stage of development of their coin, right? So yeah, so this is the second way to invest, right? Number one, you invest by the layer of the technology, layer 1, right? Number 2, you invest by the company coin. Number 3 is like layer 2, layer 3 coin. Okay, so from here, the risk will increase as you move toward the end of the funnel, right? You invest to something that is layer 2, which is not really stable or not so well defined. But in exchange, you will earn like more X, for example, right now, if people say how much I can earn more with the BTC, I don't think much, because I think BTC is quite mature. The most you can do is like 3x, that is at most, right? But if you take the risk, you invest to layer 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Some crappy coin like 6 is the coin like introduced in Thailand. JFIN is Thailand. AFIN, it's like a Bitcoin green energy coin-ish, which is backing up by some Thai, like investor as well. It's fun, man. Like at the beginning, you see these coins like 1, 2, 3 baht, which technically like it's less than 1 cent. But after a short period of time, it's increased. So the change that you will earn more with this coin is a lot. But you take a lot of risk as well, because you don't have much visibility to it. Like try to Google this coin, you will see number 1, it's not in your language, which is English, for example. Right? Number 2, it doesn't have much of news about it. So you don't have the visibility of valuation of these coins, right? All you can do is you open your phone every day, every hours, check the price. If it's go up, you make the decision where to buy, right? And then another fun example, which everyone like to talk about, is the SHIBAINU and the DOGE coin. This is mainly driven by young generation. It's a joke coin, so of course, why we need to take it serious? That's why Elon Musk is tweet about it a lot to let people know. I don't know how to say about it, right? Yeah, but then it creates value and a lot of FOMO, and my friend got into it as well. It took them a long time to get him back in. I mean, back out, like getting the profit back again. Yeah, so these are the three ways you can, like make your decision to invest. Now coming back to the layer 2 a little bit, because layer 2 I think is where the news is start to circulate a lot more rather than BTC and Ethereum, because technology is just there, right? You just basically follow the project roadmap of the coin. But for the layer 2, it's more like it's like a shopping market for you, right? For example, like Solana, right, where they advertise themselves like they are able to produce like a lot more transaction compared to Ethereum. Ethereum is like 3 or 4 transactions per second, when Solana is like, you're talking like 10,000 plus of transaction, right? So they are a layer 2 that provide the benefit for, whatever kind of service they will plan to do in the future. So news coming in, people coming in, they try to advertise a lot. So this is where I think it's more fun to invest into these, right? Like Engine or Sand or Mana, right? These are game-based, Decentraland, and like, you know, um, like it's getting more category for you to invest in, and so yeah, you get a lot more homework to do. But I kind of like to invest in the layer 2 technology, because you have a higher chance to like earn big if you make the right decision or you gambling on the right person. Okay, so we talked about the definition, we talked about the emotional part of the new user. Now we will talk a little bit or scratch a very small part of the digesting how the market is behaving according to the news. Okay, so let's make it, the thing is fresh a little bit, like, so we will focus on November and December news. And if you start to learn and read, you research about it, let's just make a very simple one, those for like beginner like me. We will focus on the BTC news and the Ethereum news, right? And we will talk a little bit more about the layer 2, which is all kind of like Solana, Gala, like Engine, sandboxing, a little bit about that. So if you pull out the pie chart of BTC since November until now, right, you will be in like a very you probably will see and experience the emotional part of the new user to the market, which is in November the price is like going up and booming. Everybody is happy, all kind of like YouTube influencer, streamer is saying Q4 is where the BTC will booming, because in the past 4 years this has been the trend. It should repeat again and blah blah blah, right? But then, December, it's I mean near somewhere, I think it's somewhere like at the beginning of December, we have Evergrande defaulting. Evergrande is the China-based company which is like focusing in the properties, and this is like a super humongous company, right? they supposed to be default like a couple months ago, but for some reason, the government will try to delaying it, right? And again, these like YouTuber, like influencer, they say it will never happen because these are so big, they will not let it fail. Just like some big company in US before, they have the term like too big to fail, right? Nothing will never fail. Okay, so this will be your lesson number one, right? And that can be associated to the risk with Bitcoin as well. It's so big. Will you think it fell? If you talk to a lot of people out there, they will have a strongly belief that Bitcoin will never fail because it's too big now, right? The market is like, you're talking about like billion US dollars of market cap. Well, if your mindset is like too big, cannot fail, that is wrong. It's definitely wrong, right? At some point it will fail, but how it fell and how people will exit will depend is on each individual, right? And since this is a decentralized system, it will be driven by those who has money, insider information, and how to read the market cap. I mean, how to read the market movement well, how to digest it well, right? So for me, these are the three, like factor that will impacting on the price, right? So Evergrande is just one thing. The second thing of the price going down is that because, like some people will start to talk a little bit about the liquidation thing on account, like we call it the margin call, right? Again, right, as I mentioned earlier, if you are too greedy, the side effect of the being greedy is that you will get a margin call. And basically what margin call is doing is just like if the price of the coin is going down to a very specific price, they will, and if your account doesn't have enough balance, what the exchange will do is it will sell your coin at whatever price at that point in order to cut the loss to protect the exchange, not protect you, right? Sorry. Yeah, to protect them. And that is a second reason, right? We have quite, like a few liquidation or margin call since March until now, right? Especially for those who are in the April one, you will see this a lot. Right? That is the reason number two, right? For price going down. Number three is that you're talking about the supply and demand. Okay, so the supply and demand here is a little bit trickier to digest it because at one point, depending on where you stand, you cannot digest the factor that make the price going down based on the demand and supply concept. So what do I mean by that? If you talk like a general like consumer trader, like new user who FOMO in, people want to get in, right? So that's creating a demand. A demand for the market is clear, so it should help driving up the price, okay? In general, as a market. Now, the second thing we need to digest is to which coin, okay? Now, let's make it think simple. So if there is a demand for Bitcoin has been increased and it go to Bitcoin, right? So November and December is where the demand is going up. Because why, right? We are into the second year of COVID. People start to have unspent money from the government supply, from the government support, unspent money from traveling, right? Unspent money on eating out, buying clothes, right? And they will hold back because they're scared, right? So these are the available money in the ecosystem. They will going into the Bitcoin thing. So the price of the Bitcoin should going up. But at the same time, you will have a supply of those that has been like collecting and holding BTC for a long time, right? Maybe when they have, I mean, when they purchase it, when it's still like $20,000, right? Or when it's like $1,000, they want to consume it, right? Remember, 90% of the Bitcoin supply is in the market right now, right? So there's a seasonal transaction that's been happening around. So these two forces, which is very hard to digest, like which one is stronger, like the newcomer who coming in with like more money, or those who has been having the number of coin that has been available to sell. Which one? Because if they selling too much, they want to, like starting like wanting to earn, because they see, like at 45,000, 6,000 US dollars, it's a lot of money, right? So they want to sell it. So this will depressing the price. So these two forces will already start to like cracking your head of like, hey, what should be the price, right? Okay. And the third one is the institution. The institution, or like a huge big whales, to my experience, they will not likely to go to the exchange to buy like one coin by one coin. No, they will buy that like huge transactional, right? Like one transaction, million worth of US dollars, or whatever currency they are, or which country they are in, right? Because they're doing this, the price of the coin will not going up, right? It will stay the same. Why organization want to do this, right? For both sides, the exchange side and the institutional side. This is to protect those two users, right? So which is kind of like negative for the market, because they don't want. I mean, for the exchange, right? When they get more money, they don't want to lose it for the normal user who hold the coin, right? Because when the price is going up, people want to sell, right? That's number one. Number two, the institution, when they buy it, they want it, the price is to keep a little bit longer stable, so that they can do some sort of like organization and whatever you can think about it with, right? To kind of like, like, to me, this is more like a secrecy, right? So this is a negative force for the exchange, or for the regular user. That's why I mentioned before, the exchange or the crypto, for the normal user, we are at disadvantage, because we are playing with whales, government, and big institution, right? We're just riding the wave, and if you catch it right, you will earn it. Yeah, so this force will also, it's not depressing, or it's not appreciating the price of whatever coin they are involving with, but it will keep it just like as it is. So if you add this layer on, which is a third layer, I think, you will not know like what to expect anymore, right? So let's make things more complicated by, Bitcoin is not the only coin on the market, right? So now we're talking like Ethereum. It's a new, like rising star. If you're looking at the BTC dominance and the Ethereum dominance chart on the trading view, you will see that Ethereum has been increasing their market share quite a lot. So with this additional factor in, and I'm just mention like one more coin, like Ethereum, right? This news should saying that the price of the Bitcoin should going down, because the demand for Bitcoin is less, right? But if you try to put the chart like side by side, not all the time the Ethereum dominance is going up and the BTC price is going down, right? So our logical, like mindset right now is confused by these 4 factors, right? 4 or 5, I don't know. So yeah, so for the new beginner like me, I get really frustrated because we cannot digest the information anymore. And at this point, right, what I would like to conclude for the year or concluding for the market is that it is extremely risky to be in this field, right? If you are not willing to lose what you invest, don't step in. If you are not willing to believe in what you invest, don't go in. Because to me, it is 100% gambling, right? Compared to stock is a gambling thing as well. But stock, you are looking at the real company like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. They have like a very specific guideline to reporting the number out. So you gambling based on something that is publicly available, right? Understandable and researchable. For here, all you see in the blockchain is their white paper, their token supply, the price, the charge, the news, and it's a list of people who are involved in that project. But let me give you one hint, very concrete example of these coins, especially for those coins that is like, like unknown. Half of what you're seeing on their profile has been brushed up. This doesn't mean that they are lying. It's just meaning they try to align themselves to the market, which has been fabricated by, like expectation of the company, of how the world is changing. For example, back then when I worked for my previous company, my title is simply just an analyst, a specialist, right, in the company. But when I'm going outside the world, there will be 2 things I was told to do. Number 1, my career consultant say, okay, with this skill, you are not specialist. You are some kind of expert in your field. So you should change this. This is what the consultant say, right? Number 2, if you are true to yourself, to what you are doing, right, you will be fail in any kind of interview. Why? Because if you are talking to a recruiter or the company consultant who doesn't have enough knowledge about what you are doing, they are just undervalue your assets, right? Undervalue your knowledge. They won't impress by if you're saying, I just know how to crunch number, right? If you're saying that, you fail, right? If they're not asking the follow-up question, you fail. So these are like a very simple way of telling you guys that those who are in the white paper, like founder of blah, 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 whatsoever, sometimes they are just very ordinary people by hard skill, even by soft skill, even by being successful in a regular world. Like, they start up somewhere, very low rank, and then just there's an opportunity to like popping up. And they are become founder, become like CEO, become like whatever rank they can earn, right? And their career going up from there. But they, like, I see some of them like really shine, like, don't get me wrong on this, right? In a personal development as a like employees, as a human being, right? When you get the opportunity right, and you can develop it right, a lot of them has been shine. Like, I have friends who starting low as well, right? But right now, like, they are like head, director, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so these people has a talent that is unfound. But I also see a lot of people out there, they just try to brush up their thing, walk their mouth through a lot of things, and being there. So these kind of people, these kind of founder in the crypto industry it's a disease, and you have to be very aware of that. So that is why, I mean, for my company, we open a lot of like AMA, like let the founder and people come out and talk a lot. I think this is one of the right way, or one of the many right way, to let the user who believe in the coin, seeing the person, and use their own judgment to evaluate it, not just by the price of the coin, not by the marketing team, not by the media, but seeing for themselves, right? And when they're seeing it, they're believing it, and they observe the success of the products, right? The coin will sell, it will sold for itself because there has been steps, just like how the crypto and blockchain work. There is need some consensus, right? Yeah. So with this in mind, like as you can see, Ethereum, the founder Vitalik, sorry, couldn't spell his name, right? He's showing up. He talked to people, and there's like exclusive interview, very long hours, right? So in order to be in those like exclusive interview, hour long, it will help us to understand a person a lot, because you can fake yourself out, you know, a little bit in 5-10 minutes, but you cannot fake yourself out like a couple hours, you know, like, but except for those like special agent, like from, you know, like movie, they can last for days, years, months, yeah. But these are, I think, is regular people. They cannot hide themselves for that long. So this is one of the last things, right? Because trading on an exchange is gambling. The blockchain itself has nothing wrong about it, right? It's a great technology to adopt, but how people driving it is scary. So this is my conclusion for, you know, for the topic today, which is quite long, that trade responsibly, earn what you can get, and again, be responsible for your loss as well. Don't blame anyone. If you lost, it's your own, right? You can grab your friend, be sad about it, but don't blame anyone. It's your decision, right? And thanks a lot for being with me today. It's a very, very long video. Thanks, and Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, for those who are celebrating it. My name is Min, just a normal analyst, a father, a photographer, a driver, a dog lover, just a very ordinary person. See you guys next year.